Predicting the 2024-2025 Premier League table. Now, I actually already filmed this, but then after a few days, I didn't edit it, and then loads of coaching changes happened. Even some signings happened. So I'm recording this as of June the 9th, I believe. So in the next few days, there might be more changes. But for the time being, we've had, Leicester's coach go to Chelsea, Maresca, I think. Brighton are looking at a coach from St. Petersburg or something. There's all sorts of things. We don't know what's happening with Ten Hag for United. We're not quite sure if Ipswich's coach will stay. Fulham, who knows? Anyway. There's a lot of things that can happen. I love having this conversation with mates, so I'm going to have it with you, and I'm going to talk about it now. Starting off with the relegation zone, there's realistically certain teams that are involved in this relegation battle, and I'm going to put them all up there like this. So as you can see, the big eight, no longer the big six, the big eight obviously are safe from relegation. They should be fine. Out of these teams, Everton, unless they have point deductions, they'll be fine. Palace, yes, I know they're going to get rid of some players, but they're going to bring some great players in, and their coach is great. Bournemouth, Areola's cooking, and then Fulham, you would say, are relatively safe. Brighton, although they might be getting a dodgy coach, you think they have the talent. All these players here, all these teams, they can get relegated. So let's talk about the guaranteed relegations. Leicester, they're going to have to sell their best player, Dewsbury Hall, and some others, and they've just lost their coach. Ipswich have kept their coach, so I'm a bit more confident on them now. If they had lost their coach, they're guaranteed to go down. I think Brentford should be okay. They should be okay. Just West Ham, they should be okay. They have the quality as well. They're going to lose Paqueta and some others. New coach as well. They should be fine. I think it's between these 5 teams. Now, Forest are an interesting one. Even though they did get points deducted last season, they were still awful. Absolutely diabolical. The underlying numbers of Wolves were really bad, and towards the end of the season, they were looking really bad. So I think these are the teams who may or may not go down. We'll talk about that a little bit later. In terms of mid-table, top half, it's going to be these sorts of teams, really. You would think. Rarely is someone going to break into that. So we're going to sort out this lower part of the table. Eventually, we're going to have, 2 teams in the 8 to 10, which is 9-10, and the rest down here. Who's going to finish in the top half? Likely, I think the likes of Bournemouth, Everton, Palace are more likely to. Fulham, I think, will be consistently there. We'll sort out the relegation. We'll say it as it is now. Realistically, 3 promoted teams are going to go back down. That's how the Prem's looking, but I don't want to be boring like that. I think Forest have enough to survive. They might have to sack Nuno to get out of it, but they should be all right. I think Wolves are going down, and that's based off still financial constraint and the fact that the underlying numbers are awful. Ipswich have their manager. They've kept it, but do they have the quality? No. Southampton, Premier League proven, they don't have to sell players. I think if Leeds has gone up, I'd be more confident saying Leeds than Southampton. Ipswich or Southampton, realistically, Ipswich go down. Southampton, we're going to put to stay up. Just. Absolutely just. Forest will just stay up, and I'm going to put West Ham in 15th, which means Brentford I'm going to put in 14th. In 13th, I want Brighton in there. I think they're going to drop a bit more. In 12th, we'll go with Fulham, which means in 11th, 11 will be Palace. I think just because they might sell some players, they might not excel as much as people think. 10 and 9 could or could not be Bournemouth. We'll talk about champions. For me, these are the teams that could be champions. Those teams. The teams that are close to champions, but probably some things need to go their way. I think of those teams. And then I think are these teams who are a bit lower. Let's make one thing clear. Chelsea originally was in my top 3. They sacked Poch, and they've gotten Leicester's manager. Chelsea are going to drop all the way down to 10th. Back down to 10th where they belong, which is hilarious because fuck Chelsea. But as a Chelsea fan, you've brought in a coach who got relegated with some Italian side, Palermo or something, who got promotion for Leicester just with the best squad, championship squad we've seen in a long time. What is that hire? Fuck knows. And there's still problems with the squad and financial problems. Everton, assuming nothing goes wrong with financials, I think they'll accrue this many points. Bournemouth are just really exciting. Will any other of the big teams finish low down here? Depends. Newcastle do not have Europe, so I'm going to put them a bit higher. These fuckers, United, my team, have Europa League, gee whizzles. And I believe Spurs have Europa League as well. I don't think Spurs are going to cope. I think Spurs will come in 8th place, which means I'm going to have Bournemouth in Europa League in 7th place. Everton in 9th, Spurs in 8th, Bournemouth in 7th, 5th and 6th. Well, let's make one thing clear. new manager, some departments. Liverpool aren't going to be top 2. One of these teams has to finish with United. I think United will probably finish 6th, which means 2 out of these teams will be in 5th place. Definitely not City or Arsenal. Aston Villa, they've got Europe. They already had Europe this season, but they've got the Champions League now. And they're going to have some more pressure on them. They're no longer that underdog team. Newcastle, I don't think will be in that realm, even though they will lose players, but no Europe, I think they should be fine. I think it's between Liverpool and Villa. And I just think Liverpool have the better squad with the new manager. We're not quite sure how it's going to go. And that's why I think with that uncertainty, I'm going to put them in 5th, which means I keep Villa in 4th place, where they finished obviously this season. Newcastle I've got in 3rd. It's between these 2 teams for 1 and for 2. And to be completely honest, I just think Arsenal do it just because they have young players. And like Pep's whole thing for every year, you know, when they did the treble, it was, we have to win the treble. We have to do this for David Silva. We cannot replace it. So I love Pep. This season it was obviously, nobody has ever done 4 in a row. United did 3. We need to do 4. We need to do it for David Silva. And they did 4 in a row. That incentive for the players. What's it now? No one's ever done 5 in a row, but that was kind of the same as last season. So can you reuse that? I'm not so sure. And that's why I think they're just not going to have that drive. Am I happy with this table? Yeah, I am. The big ones really are Bournemouth to do well, Chelsea to do shit, Newcastle and Villa in the top 4, Wolves get relegated, West Ham nearly get relegated. And then these 4 teams are predicted. That's just my prediction. I'll do another one of these just before the season starts because who knows? If West Ham sign a solid player, I might put them higher. Equally, if United sack their coach and appoints Gareth Southgate, United are going all the way down to 10th. So there's some jeopardy here. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Yeah, and I'll see you in another video.